And we are live, I think. It looks like it. Hello, guys. Welcome to Jason Hebert Live. We're going to start a little slow because I don't think we really have anybody in here yet. But this morning, will be the first episode of our new format. We did discuss it previously on the old iteration of the show that things were going to be changing. And we did kind of a test run of the show here, but I've buffered it up a bit and made a couple changes. And I figure I'll make it an official episode so that it can be in the Jason Hebert canon, so to speak. Hey, Brianna. Good morning. It says nobody's here, but we got people in the chat. Okay, 3 people. All right, let's let them go in. Yeah, guys, so I don't know who was here when we made changes the other night. We decided this, but moving forward, if you're not familiar with my channel, what we do here at night is we interview the loved ones of missing persons in an effort to help spread awareness and help bring them home. We've been doing that for going on a year now. Good morning, Lauren, Kaleidoscope, Brianna. Toby's up early, he sure is. I just got home, woke him up. So yeah, that's what we do here, guys. And we've had a morning show for a bit, but we were kind of using it as a true crime news segment. This morning show has been in fluctuation. It's moved around a lot. It's hard for me to find a home. I didn't know whether to put it on my main channel or my second channel. It's kind of went back and forth. But I think I found a way to keep it on the main channel, and that's what today's show is going to start. Is we're going to start using this morning show as a weekly preview. So on Mondays, we're going to do a show just like we're doing right now around this time. I'm going to work out the time with my job. So the Monday morning show is going to cover Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night's interviews. All right, we're going to show some of the pictures, read a little bit of the articles. I'll give you guys some information I have from the families. Then we'll do a Thursday morning show. And Thursday morning is going to cover the cases that we'll be interviewing on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. Morning, Chris. So those 2 morning shows will cover that 6-day span. And then on Sunday night, we won't do any interviews. That's going to be my one day off as far as the interviews go. But I probably will do some kind of like a wrap-up show in the morning. So that will leave us with 6 interviews in 3 morning shows. So 6 night shows, 3 morning shows. I think that will be perfect. It's a perfect way to blend the 2 shows together to make them meaningful. That's what I've been looking for with this show, is this morning show is a way to make it matter to the nighttime show. And I figured staying within the genre would help, of course, true crime news, but it didn't really match up with the other things that we were doing. So Monday night for you, Lords, yeah. So I think the way that I have it now is best. I don't think I need to go. Oh, okay, Kaleidoscope. Are you sure? Is everything okay? Yeah, I mean, don't get bashful if you need it, but if you don't need it, then absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of shows. So if it gets to be too much, the first thing I'll do is I'll cut out the Sunday morning wrap up. And then from there, I can always cut out an interview if it gets to be too much. But I think it's necessary. Hey, morning, Tabitha. It's going to allow me to still do this morning show, but it will allow me to expand the interviews that are coming. And everything's perfect. Okay, cool. So it'll make this show better. And thank you, Brenda. Oh, that's sweet. Marissa, good morning. So it'll not only make my morning show better, but it'll make it fit the nighttime version better. And it'll make it so I don't have to delete these morning shows. I can keep them on the channel, because my worry was always somebody coming in and being like, I thought this was an interview channel. What are all these shows? But if these shows are just previews for the interviews, it all works, right? I don't have to worry about it. Hey, Bree. I'm watching with my German Shepherd, Sherlock Bones. Oh, wow. Toby's all excited. He's like, German Shepherd. All right. So that's how we're going to go from now on, guys. Hopefully you guys caught it. If you're just joining in, we were explaining the new format. So make sure to rewind it once we finish an upload. And as always, guys, we do use the show to help financially support the interviews and stuff as well. So we're going to continue that. We're just going to be doing it a lot less because I feel like maybe I burned some people out, and I don't want to do that. I want everybody to enjoy watching me and supporting the show and everything. I don't want it to be like burnout because we're doing too much. So same thing. We will put you guys up on camera, on screen just like this. And the /A will change to your name once someone donates. You guys know the deal there. So any donations that come in, you get credit for them on the screen. Also, they get Toby a treat. We're doing double treats lately. Toby gets a bacon. There he goes, looking at him all excited. He looks at me. And a peanut butter crunchy. So every donation that comes in, he gets some little fun stuff to chew on, and we get to go over our cases, and that's basically it. So this is kind of a dry run, though. If you saw my previous show where I had decided this new format, you probably heard a lot of what we're going to say today. So to make up for that, I'm going to try to include a little more information, as well as we will maybe do a little news at the end, too. So we're going to do a little bit of everything today. But do you guys agree with me that this is going to get people more hyped for the coming interviews? If you see them right now and hear some details, like right now you're going to learn about interviews for the next 3 days, that will hype you guys up, right? And it'll get you more excited to watch it when it comes. I think it will help boost up the numbers. I really do. We'll see anyways. So let me just load. As you guys know, the first 15 minutes gets Toby double of anything. So any donations that come in gets him double treats. So let me just load that up so that I can see if you guys donate. We can see it right away. As always, we appreciate and love you guys. Especially Toby's all pumped because he smells the peanut butter. Those are his favorite. Actually, I don't know if his favorite's the peanut butter or the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I'm leaning towards the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but he's chomping more on the peanut butter, so I don't know. Call it what you will. I'm more of a Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy. Why do I only have 3? Hang on, I only have 3 of my cases pulled up. I should have 4, even though it should only cover 3 because it's the first show. I'm going to do 1 extra for you guys. So do we have Gutierrez? Give me 1 second. So this is, so this is Miss Houston. And then we got, what's going on here? This is Mr. Brewer. Yeah, that's there. And then is it Gutierrez? Yes, Gutierrez. So we don't have, why do I keep losing him? Okay, guys, 1 second. I'm pulling up Monday's interview. That's the first case we're going to cover Monday. The name, Macauer, is it? Yeah, so our first case, which we will be covering Monday night, is for Dimitri Macauer. I believe I'm saying that correctly. Let me pull up a couple flyers and pictures. I think it's his face. Here we go. It's the Facebook. Okay, so let me show my screen a little bit. And, hey, guys. Hey, come craft and chat with Sally Ann. So, the way that's the link, guys, to support the show. The way that we are doing this, our new morning show, Sally Ann and everybody else, is thank you. We're going to use this as previews for the interviews, in case anybody missed it. I have a hard time with these morning shows because people constantly come in and out. So I find myself constantly worried, like, oh my God, the people that are here right now, did they hear the last thing I said? So I end up repeating myself a lot. I got to work on that. I'm sure you guys have noticed that. Probably like he repeats himself a lot. That's the reason. So Monday night, which is tonight, we will be interviewing his mother, Danielle Doggett. Very sweet woman. Absolutely heartbroken, of course. Her son, Dimitri Macauer, Machhour, not a ton out there. So we have pretty basic information, but let me pull it up for you guys. I'll share my screen so you can see what I'm seeing here. This will be tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Hey, Jan. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Welcome, welcome. So again, guys, this is tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time, Monday the 17th. He's from El Cajon, California. He is missing. This is a pretty new case. He's described as being 5'8", 130 pounds. He has brown hair and brown eyes, no tattoos, and he's one of 3 triplets. Wow, triplets. I've never met triplets. My dad is a twin, but not an identical twin. He was last seen at the El Cajon Mall on the 10th. So we're about exactly a week out now, guys. So as you can imagine, the family's probably at that point where they're absolutely panicking because no one just disappears for a week, right? When you're used to people being there, somebody disappears for a week, you start freaking out. So they have found his car, but there's no sign of him. I don't know exactly where the car has been found. We're going to have to check with his mother on that. His phone is going straight to voicemail, which it could mean it's either shut off or it's just turned off, of course. It would be the same either way, right? Yeah. If it was on, it would ring, then go to voicemail. If it was turned off, yeah. So it's off all the way. But the service is still active. I'm guessing maybe his mother pays for it. He looks like a pretty young kid. And so his mother probably pays the service. I'm sure she'll leave it on just in case, obviously. But he just moved to California from Arizona to live with his dad after turning 18. So I'm assuming he lived with her before that. We'll have to check. By the way, as we do this show more, I'll start to have more info for you guys. I'll get a better feel for it and know what to present. This is my very first one, of course. So he's Moroccan-American, described as kind and funny, and he desperately needs help, guys. This is a young kid missing. God only knows where he could be. So a report has been filed with El Cajon police. Missing persons detective Mario Larrea is who you want to call if you know anything, any information whatsoever. 619-531-2295 is the number, and this is Dimitri Mackauer. I don't know if it's Mackauer, Mackauer. Maybe you guys know how that name would be spelled with that typical spelling, but young kid, handsome kid, looks like a good kid. Gotta find him. Have to find him. So this will be tonight. This will be a good one. Please join us for it, guys. This is going to be a great interview. Hey, Ronnie, Sally Ann, welcome, guys. Yeah, God bless the family, guys. We always want to send our love to the family, so please, if I do one of these previews, and we haven't done the show yet, just so you know, I have no issue with you guys if you find the mother or the father and you want to shoot some love their way and let them know, hey guys, just so you know, we're here for you and I'm going to be in there in the show and I'm going to help you find Dimitri, whatever. Feel free to do that. Don't feel like you can't because we haven't done the show yet or because I haven't said you could or whatever. You can do what you want as long as you're respectful, of course. This 9 p.m. tonight. Our shows are almost always 9 p.m. at night. The actual interviews, I mean. These morning shows, of course, moving forward are Monday and Thursday around this time in the morning, and then we'll have a Sunday morning wrap-up show. So Monday through Saturday will be the interviews 9 p.m. So thank you to everybody who is considering donating. We do appreciate you guys. The link's in the description. Now, our next case, and I actually have to talk to the dad. So here's what's going on with this case. I'm speaking to the father. His name is Warren Bell. The missing is Tamea Houston. And I don't know exactly what was going on with him, but he messaged me last night. I saw it right before I got to work. And he said, is there any way we can do it sooner? Unfortunately, because I was getting ready for work last night and I already have an interview tonight, he's tomorrow night. So there's really nowhere because I pretty much do one a night. I couldn't really tell him yes because it was too late for last night and we already have one tonight. But I'm going to message him today. Just got to work. What time is that for us in the UK? You guys are 5 hours ahead. So that's late for you guys. That's 2 a.m. for you guys. I didn't realize you were UK. I'm sorry. But you can always catch the rerun if it's too late. Of course, we leave them up permanently, obviously. So he messaged me. He said, "Can we do it earlier?" I told him. I responded saying, what exactly is going on? Is everything okay? How come you're looking to change the time? And I haven't heard back yet. So it is possible, not likely, but it is possible if he tells me, I just want to get this done. Because at first I had told him we could do it as soon as possible. I think I even offered him last night or Saturday. I was trying to do it earlier, and he picked the date. So, but I'm going to tell him I will consider doing two interviews. So if he says that doing it today makes it possible, whereas he no longer can do it tomorrow night, then we might have, I don't know, one at 6 or 7 p.m. I might do him, and then wait till 9 p.m. and then I'll do Dimitri Mackauer. So I don't know for sure. As of right now, tonight at 9 is Dimitri, and tomorrow at 9 is Tamea. But if the dad so chooses, it will be 6 or 7 p.m. today for Tamea, and 9 p.m. for Dimitri. Sorry, I've been up all night, guys. I work a nighttime job, so it takes me a moment. My recall is not so good sometimes when I'm half asleep. So thank you for bearing with me. We have 7 minutes left in the lightning round, guys. Any donations that come in within the first 15 minutes gets Toby double treats, gets him a bacon and a peanut butter puff. So we got 7 minutes left for that if anybody wants to treat Toby to double treats. So yeah, but prepare right now for this to be tomorrow night because I'm going to try to keep it that schedule. I only will move it to tonight and do 2 tonight because that's a lot. 2 cases in one night. It's a lot for everybody, for me, for you guys. But if he tells me he can no longer do it tomorrow night and I'm going to lose the interview, then absolutely I'll squeeze him in tonight. We'll do 2. But this is the case here. Good morning, Marlene. Guys, the link's in the description and right there if anybody wants to support. I don't do an official follow-up Kaleidoscope, typically. I keep myself open to them. And a lot of times I'll just shoot a message and say, hey, any updates or stuff like that. I used to have a show when the cases were solved. It was a Sunday thing where they'd come on and say what happened. But I haven't done that so much lately. Because the thing is, a lot of times there is nothing to follow up. But we have done like 4 part 2s, and we've even done a couple part 3s. So I always tell them if new information surfaces, or if they just say, oh my God, how did I forget such and such a few details on my first interview? If there's any major info that's going to change or add on, I'll definitely do a second interview. I'll do a third, I'll do a fourth. I always tell them that. I say, you can contact me as much as you want. Don't worry about that. I'm ready to go. But my only issue with that is a couple of the part 2s that we did, the people really had not one bit of info extra. And I never said anything, but I just kind of was like, oh boy, because I kind of remembered, and I'm like, this is really just all the same information, which I don't really care, to be honest with you, because we grow every month, obviously, like any, decently successful channel. So we're always getting more people on the channel. So it doesn't really bother me to do another interview that's basically the same thing twice. It's not the end of the world, because maybe I had 2,000 subscribers in the first interview, and now you're getting it out to 12,000, right? So that's 10,000 extra eyes. Why not? But the only problem is it's not the best, because a lot of people find my channel. They tell me this all the time, and they binge watch. So you're going to get a lot of people that go find my channel. Oh yeah, so they watch part 1, and it's going to instantly recommend part 2, right? So what are they going to do? Click on part 2 to watch the follow-up and hear all the same stuff again for an hour, hour and a half. So it's not ideal. It's definitely not ideal. But, I leave it up to the families. If they feel like it's going to help them, I say go at it. But I always tell them, please, if we're going to do any type of a follow-up, please have more information. Chris, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Tonight, 100% tonight is Dimitri Mack hour at 9 p.m. That is not changing no matter what. The question is, Mr. Bell, who's the mother of Tamia Houston, tomorrow night's interview, is he going to change for today, meaning we're going to do 2 today and skip tomorrow? It's all up to Mr. Bell when I speak to him. So it's either going to be 2 interviews today, like 6 p.m. and 9 p.m., or it's going to be the typical 9 p.m. tonight and then 9 p.m. tomorrow night. It's just he's choosing to change the time, is what it sounds like. So I have to ask him, was he just trying to see if he could get it in earlier and we can't, or can he no longer do our original day, which is tomorrow? So let's go over the information with Miss Houston, Tamia Houston. So this is from Richmond County, Georgia. Looks like the town, I don't even know how to say this town, Hefzibah, something along those lines. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help to find a missing 12-year-old. Tamia Caroline Houston was last seen just before 8 a.m. on May 14th, leaving her home on the 1100 block of Fox Den Road in Hefzibah, Hephzibah. I have no idea. I've never seen that same name in my life. Hefzibah, I'm going to guess. Tamia was last seen wearing a pink sweater, blue jeans, and carrying a bag. This, of course, is her right here. 12 years old. She has black hair and brown eyes. She's 5'3", and she weighs around 129 pounds. If you're not looking at your screen, she's African American. 12 years old. Again, if you have any information on Tamia's whereabouts, contact the sheriff's office at 706-821-1020 or 706-821-1080. So that would be the sheriff's office in Hefzibah, Texas. Excuse me, Hefzibah, Georgia, which is Richmond County. How do I keep from getting overwhelmed? I often do. But a lot of times it's a lot of times it's just as much stuff in my personal life that overwhelms me. You know, it's when I have to do so much on the channel and then the personal stuff starts coming in. Like these last few months, that's the whole reason this show exists. When my mother had the cancer and then she couldn't work, so I had to work more. I had to find more ways to get money. So I was stressing out trying to pump out more shows, you know, and then with the donations and it was keeping us afloat. I mean, that I almost had a nervous breakdown. I just don't show it. But yeah. Typically when I do a show and I'm like setting goals for the day, there's usually a reason for that. I just don't say it. It's like a bill is due that day. If I'm like, hey, let's see if we can get to this goal today. I'm acting friendly, but usually I'm like, oh my God. Now that will change soon because again, I just started working. So things are getting better. But to answer your question, I get overwhelmed constantly. And it's getting harder the further we go on, because I feel like maybe people are burning out a little. So I can't always depend on it, you know, but yeah, it's a lot of shows to do. I don't mind the actual interview part because I've always been the kind of person that likes to talk to people. Like when I used to work in the mall when I was younger, I would just walk around the mall and talk to people for hours, my whole shift. I love to do it. Will a decent webcam be okay to start with? I just can't afford a dedicated camera. Okay, so I think I have good news for you. By the way, I'm the last person you should go to for tech stuff, but I know a little bit because I was helped. So my understanding, I don't know if it's still the case. We'll get back to the case in a minute, guys. I'm sorry. But my understanding is, oh, by the way, if anybody, I don't have time to look and see if anybody has donated yet. I don't think anybody has, but we'll extend it out 5 minutes because I need time to explain this before I go and start checking everything. So you have 5 more minutes if you want to get a donation in for the double tree round for Toaster. So, because I want to explain this. This is important. Yeah. So if you're looking to just start up, so I don't know if this is the case now, but when the pandemic first hit a while back, for whatever reason, webcams skyrocketed in price. I guess they like tripled or quadrupled in some cases. For whatever reason, what didn't quadruple or triple is action cams, which essentially are look like a little GoPro, basically. They work just like a webcam, and that's what I have. So I went to Walmart. My camera's not a good camera at all. Well, it's okay, but I went to Walmart. They had 3 cameras. I think the cheapest one was like $20, and I couldn't use that one. But my friend who at the time was helping me, who used to be a part of the channel, there was I think a $40 and a $70 model. I bought the $70 action cam, but he actually told me the $40 one would have looked exactly the same. I just bought some features I didn't even need or use, basically. So if you go, the one that I use is called Vivitar. It says 4K on it, but if you go to like Walmart and get an action cam and get a halfway decent one for like $30-$40, you'll get it. If you think my picture's halfway decent, which to me it is, I'm no techie by any means. I'm not a tech guy at all, but I get people that seem to know their stuff. Let's put it this way. I've done shows with YouTubers much bigger than me, and at least 2 of them I can think, and one YouTuber and one guy who was like a techie guy, were like remarking at how their camera didn't look as good as mine. Now, to me, I don't even think my camera looks good. I'm just not, I can't tell. But for somebody who has good equipment to think that my camera is better than theirs or on par, then it must not be too bad, right? So if you can get like $30-$40 and get a little action cam at Walmart, or I don't know where else sells them, but I'm sure if Walmart sells them, there's, your Walmart knockoff type place to sell them. So that's really all you need. You get that. For a mic, this is my friend's who died right here. So it's very sentimental to me. I guess it's still considered a good mic, but it's definitely not the best. I used to make music. Me and him would use this mic. He bought it. And then we moved out to California together. And he had to go home for a little bit. He flew home to Boston. And before he could move back, he died. So the mic is very special to me. It's a very sentimental thing. So I'll keep that mic as long as I can. But for $100, you can get a great Best Buy mic. A great mic at Best Buy. There's Dynamic, and what's the other one? I'm sure people in the chat know this. There's Dynamic and another kind. One of them gives you like that radio voice closed in, and one of them picks up every sound in the room. I have the kind which picks up every sound in the room, which is the bad kind. But for me, it's good because I leave it way over there. You can still hear me. But you want the one that, the one that gives you like the radio closed in voice. Thank you. My friend, he died of overdose. He had a drug problem in 2009. Yeah, 2009. Oh, thank you so much, Sally. Yeah. So it looks like we got our first donation, guys. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so basically that's really all you need is the camera and a halfway decent mic. Okay, hang on 1 second. All right, I think it's 7 because they took a little bit out. So I think that's what it was $7, right? So we have our first donation of $7. Thank you so much. Yeah, it really kills me. I've lost a few friends, but his name was Nordy. If a lot of you guys saw my little channel there that had some of my music on there, he has a song on there too. It wasn't his best song, but it was one nobody had heard, so I uploaded on my channel after he died. But he was very talented. It was rap music. If you're not into rap, you won't like it. But yeah, he left. That's why I have this. I wouldn't even have had this mic, but he says, dude, I'm gonna leave everything with you because I'll be back soon. Because he was like going to doctors and stuff, like getting medicine for whatever, being sick, drugs, or whatever he was doing. I don't know. But we moved out to California, and he couldn't like transfer his medical out there or something like that, or not in time. He couldn't. So he like panicked and he flew back. He left me all his big case of music CDs, his mic, a couple other things, and he never came back. So. That was tough. Let's get Toby's first treats for our first donation of the day. Thank you so much to Sally Ann. You are lovely. Everybody check out Sally Ann's channel. Sally Ann, if you want to talk about it here, you absolutely can. It's Come Craft and Chat with Sally Ann. She does true crime and crafts. Please, she's showing us some support, so show her a little support. Just a moment, guys. We will get to the case for tonight. I'm sorry. I know we got a little sidetracked. Let's give Toby his due come up here. Hey. All right. And because we're doing double treats, remember? Thank you for saying that about my friend Brianna. His name was Nordy because his name was Andrew Norton. So his last name Norton, they called him Nordy. Very sorry to hear that, Sally Ann. If you ever feel like that again, please contact, you can contact me, or we have a great little group here. A lot of people in our group have a lot of issues they're dealing with. And some of them come here when they're not feeling so good, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally. And they have a little group that we all chat with each other. So please, if you ever feel like you're going to do something like that again, please don't. Please talk to somebody, whether it's me, someone from the group, or anybody. You can always email me. So I hope, I understand we all go through times where we might do something. So hopefully you're completely over it and just know that there are people that love you. Yes, Kelly Norton, Andrew Norton was his name. Norton. I lost my very best friend to an overdose as well. I hate how people judge. Besides the drug problem, he was such a good human. I'm sorry to hear that, Tabitha. Yeah, it sucks. It's the worst. Now that I'm like 37 now, so it's like I'm not a kid anymore. I know a lot of you guys are gonna say that's so young, but I'm not a kid, obviously. And I haven't lost anybody in like 7 or 8 years, so it's kind of stretched out a little bit. There was a time when I was like 29 or so. The amount of people, I remember like writing down the amount of people I had lost to, some suicides, some overdoses, a couple murders. It was like shocking. I remember I used to tell people, and they kind of think I was lying. Like, you don't have that many people close to you die. And I'm like, yeah. No, Andrew Norton was his name. Andrew. We called him Nordy. Norton. Replace the O-N on Norton with a Y. Andrew Norton, Nordy. One of my best friends. And we got $6 from Jan. Thank you so much, Jan. We will give Toby his double treats. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I think we all, Sally, I think we all have really, really bad times. Some of us handle them better than others. Sometimes we think we're good at handling something. Like at one point in our life, we'll be good at handling something, but then it happens again when we're later. We're not so good at handling it, or vice versa. So I think it just depends what state you're in when something hits you. You know, we're all just a bunch of walking contradictions. We all have times when we're strong. We all have times when we're weak. We all have times when we're kind and happy and we want to save the world. And then you have a day when you just feel awful and you're being mean to everybody and you got to stop yourself. It's just, we're all a little bit of everything. That's how I look at it. There's no such thing as just a perfect person or just a completely useless, awful person. We're all a mix. But you do have to, you can't let something get you to the point where you do that to yourself, though, because there's no coming back from that. And you have to, the only way you can really look at it is you have to think of that as self. Oh, is he choking? You okay? You have to think of that as selfish. I don't mean that in an insulting way. I mean that in a way to stop yourself from doing it, because you have to tell yourself, if I do this, it's going to stop my pain, but it's going to create a ton of pain for a lot of other people. So you have to tell yourself that to stop yourself from doing it, because it's the truth too. You know, you're going to hurt. We're all not one person. We're all 100 different people, right? You're somebody different to your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife than you are to your coworkers, than you are to your pets, than you are to your brother. You're like 100 different people. You're the same person, but, you know, you have a lot of different sides of you, let's say. But we are here for you, Sally, and if you ever feel like that again, okay? Please don't ever think you have nobody. And obviously, there are always lines you can call and stuff. And they're the professionals. Let me be clear on that. I'm in no way a medical professional, and I shouldn't even be saying, call me if you don't feel good, because I have no kind of training in that. But I just mean as like a friend or a shoulder to lean on. Just know that you always have somebody, and you probably have a lot more people than you think you do too. Just sometimes we don't think rationally if we're in that state of mind. But let me go over tomorrow nights. Again, it is Tamia, Houston. So the Richmond County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help to find a missing 12-year-old. Tamia, Caroline, Houston I'm sorry, I already read this whole one. I'm sorry. Like I said, guys, I work an overnight before I come in here. So I am usually absolutely zapped for energy. That's why I'm doing this early. I was doing it at 11:30. If I wait till 11:30, I'll just be dead, guys. I'll be so tired, and I'll just fall asleep. But that's why it takes me a moment to recall something, and I'm like, it's because I've been up for so long. Kaleidoscope, I have this through both channels right now. So whatever channel you're in, if you're not seeing the comments, then they're in the other channel. I just made it so I could broadcast to both, because I don't know where I'm going to end up putting the show. Sorry. So if you're in Jay and Toby's true crime show, then go to the Jason Hebert channel and vice versa. If you're seeing me respond to people who aren't there, that's all that means. So on Wednesday, guys. Oh, and yeah, so thank you to Sally Ann and Jan. We do have our 2 donations. We have so Sally Ann and Jan, 7 and 6, so $13. Let's make a goal of, I don't know, like 50, let's say. Half the normal goal. Can we do something like that? I usually try to make a goal. Sometimes it helps it move along, because I don't know how long we can do for the show today. Our remaining goal, let's say 30. Wait, what did I say? 13, $37. Can we hit it? Let's try. If we hit our goal, as you guys know, we do something fun at the end. So we give Toby a whole big bowl of crunchies as we're finishing up the show, and he eats in front of us, and everybody always cracks up. They really enjoy him with crunching sound. So there we go. Boom. $37 more. Can we hit it, guys? Can we hit it? Oh, what did somebody just say? You can reach. Oh, awesome. You guys are offering yourselves. Yeah, please be there for each other, You're so right, Jay. I lost a stepdaughter taking her life. I had a nervous breakdown. I couldn't even imagine, Ronnie. I have lost people that way too. Luckily, I didn't lose anyone super close to me. I never lost like a relative that way or like a best friend, but I've definitely lost people that I cared about, that took their own lives. A friend of mine in high school, we were really good friends for like a year. It was kind of one of those relationships in high school that you're like good friends for a year or two, and then you kind of break apart and do your own thing. But you still kind of always think of them as the friend, and it feels like forever ago, but you're like, wow, I remember I was good friends with that person for like, 6 months or something. I'm sure you all have people like that. And my friend Jimmy, his name was Jimmy Derlin. He killed himself, apparently over a girl. It was right after high school. One of my bosses, Mark, I'd hung out with him a few times. Really good guy. I was starting to think of him as a friend, and he committed suicide. Geez, this is what I mean by the recall. I've lost a lot of people too. I'm not even going to go over the ones with the overdoses. I had a friend who was murdered, who had cerebral palsy, although you wouldn't even know it. He used to tell people he got hit by a car because he walked with an extremely slight limp. But we didn't even know when he died. We ended up finding out it was because he had cerebral palsy. So 13 gang members chased him down and duct taped a machete to the end of I think it was either, if it was a hockey stick or a broomstick. I think a broomstick. They duct taped it, held him on the ground, used it like a spear. The duck knife taped to the stick, and stabbed him so hard through his chest, holding him down like this, stabbed him so hard through his chest and heart that it went through his back, and there were knife marks all in the ground under him. So they stabbed him with the spear so hard it went through his chest, through all his heart and organs, and through his back, and scraped against the cement. All because of his stuff his brother did. Nothing even he did. Gang stuff. He wasn't even involved with it. It was like a send a message to your brother kind of stuff. So for that reason, I won't say the name of that one, because those people are all still around. But I mean, no, I don't see them anymore, but they're all in the surrounding cities. So that was an awful one. But yeah, I've lost a lot of people. Motorcycle accidents, heart exploded. It was like a school friend. 5 or 6 drug overdoses. Yeah, it's a lot of people. So yeah, tough stuff, guys. But so we also have interviews coming on Wednesday and Thursday. So on Wednesday, we will be speaking to Glenda Brewer McDaniel about her father, John Brewer Jr. Now this one, I'm actually going to save this one. Hang on, let me see here. Let me see something. Yeah, this one has a lot to it. So I just got rid of it. Hang on, guys. I hit the wrong button. Dang it. Why did I do that? That was the best. I was just going to tell you, I'm going to save it for last because it's the best one, and I deleted it. I exited out. Give me 1 second. Because it's kind of long. It's really a lot of information on this one. This is how I want all of them to be. Once we get the show up and running, I want everyone to have this amount of information. So I'm going to save it for last. Okay, here we go. Yeah, John Brewer. This one's kind of a crazy story when you read it. So that one will be Wednesday. But so I'm gonna skip Wednesday for now and go to Thursday. So Thursday we're speaking to Samantha Gutierrez for her daughter Lucy Gutierrez. So this is in San Antonio, Texas. Let me share my screen. What am I doing here? Okay. So San Antonio, Texas. Police and family members are asking for your help to find a teenage girl missing since last month. Lucy Bethany Gutierrez, 16 years old, has not been seen since February 22nd on the south side. A specific location was not given. So south side of San Antonio, Texas, I suppose. Gutierrez has a small scar between her eyebrows and short hair. She does not have any tattoos. She has brown eyes. So I would imagine that's probably why she puts the bangs here. You know how kids are at 16. Probably every tiny little thing they're worried about. So probably hiding the scar. Typical of 16 years old. But that goes to show you guys 16. 16-year-old pretty young girl is very vulnerable, so this girl needs to be found immediately. You're asked to contact SAPD if you know where she is. So that's all we have on Lucy so far. But I'm going to get more information from the parents tonight. That will be Thursday, 9 p.m. Again, they're almost always 9 p.m. If you're just learning about my show, if you don't know what time, you can pretty much just assume it's 9 p.m. It's not that we never do them earlier. If I get someone from like the UK, then typically I'll do it at their 9 p.m., which is my 4 p.m. On the East Coast here. So I usually do find ways to work around other people's schedules, but I do always try to make it 9 p.m. because my audience is just kind of used to that schedule. Let me see if Annie knows we're here. Yeah, I think Annie, she told me she might. Yeah, I'm not going to try to get Annie because I think she might be going through something today. Might have some things going on, so I don't want to bother her. Yeah, she told me she might have something going on, so I'm gonna skip it. And Watcher's been bouncing around, kind of doing a lot of different things. So I'll hold off today. I'm gonna talk to them later, and if I do like a nighttime show or something, I'll let them know. Or for next Thursday, I'll let them know because we're kind of changing everything up here. So guys, this is gonna be the last one that we go over. I'm saving it till last. It's Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Again, as you guys know. I saved it for last again just because it has the most information. Right now, I got very limited info because I didn't have a lot of time to prepare because I just made this format today. I will go over a couple news stories after, but I don't know how much longer we will go on with the show because we're already almost to 45 minutes. So typically we go about an hour. Might go a little longer this time. But so I'll say it one more time. Since it's the last, 20 minutes or whatever it is, we'll do double treats for whatever the remainder of the show is. So if you would like to support, that's the link to do so in the description as well as in the chat. We greatly appreciate it if you can. We have a goal of $50 today, and see if we can hit it. We're moving on up. So we'll see how it goes. So if you can't, it's okay. But if you can, we do appreciate you. Just reminding you guys one more time because we're getting to our last article here, although we will do a couple news stories. So Wednesday night, 9 p.m. is for John Brewer Jr. Where's my notes? Again, we will be speaking to his daughter, Glenda Brewer McDaniel. So you guys can read this story while I go over it. There's a lot to this one. It's a pretty interesting bit of information for a missing persons case. So on May 8th, 2013, Johnny Brewer walked into a bank in Pegram, Tennessee. Oh, by the way, this is him, of course, okay? As you see, as the scar there, that will play into the story. This is him. You can see his nose looks a little dinged up too and swollen or something. So something was going on here. So May 8th, 2013, Johnny Brewer walks into a bank in Pegram, Tennessee to withdraw money. After causing a scene, he's asked to leave and walked out, never to be seen again. He may have been suffering from delusions and had a substantial amount of money on him. Anyone with information is asked to call the Cheatham County Sheriff's Detective Kenneth Miller at 615-792-2021. John Adam Brewer Jr. is described as having short graying hair, brown eyes, and scars on his head. He also has a tattoo on his upper arm reading Johnny Brewer. Johnny was a former officer in the Davidson County Sheriff's Office. He had a distinguished career in law enforcement, leaving as a captain. He was diagnosed with a mental illness after he attacked a neighbor in Donaldson, believing he was a U.S. Marshal and that his neighbor was a fugitive from justice. So did you hear that? Sounded like there might have been a mental issue brewing. Who knows how bad it got, but that's the first sign of it from what anyone could see. So he thought he was a U.S. Marshal. He had previously been a police officer, but he's never a U.S. Marshal. So for whatever reason, he had a mental illness and he thought he was a U.S. Marshal and that his neighbor was a fugitive from justice, which of course was not true. Johnny tried to arrest his neighbor, but he was the one who ended up incarcerated at Middle Tennessee Mental Health Institute. And then he was moved to a halfway house on Jefferson Street. So it sounds to me like he probably had, what it's not, is it Alzheimer's? Whatever, Alzheimer's or whatever. When they start losing like some of their more recent memory, but they have some of the older memories, it sounds like maybe He knew he was some kind of an officer of some kind, but didn't remember his recent life and was just getting confused. But I find it to probably not be a coincidence that he was some kind of law enforcement and then thought he was another kind. Probably had some memories of being law enforcement. And then maybe he saw a TV show and mixed in with his memories. And, who knows how these mental health things work. Not me. So on May 8th, 2013, Johnny took a cab from the halfway house on Jefferson Street to a bank in Pegram. While he was at the bank, he called his now ex-wife, whom he was separated from and is also a former law enforcement officer. Johnny's daughter, Brandy Stockton, wrote on Web Sleuths. Oh, I said that wrong. That's what his daughter wrote on Web Sleuths, that he was separated from his wife, his former law enforcement officer. Johnny tried to withdraw $500. Brandy believes it is because in his delusional state, he thought his wife Monica had died and he talked about buying her a headstone, according to a teller who was on duty. So he was thinking a lot of things, guys, that weren't true. Some of them had some basis in reality. Some of them had no basis in reality. As he tried to withdraw the money, are you okay? Hang on, guys. He's doing what we call the Toby shuffle, where he starts to, that means he's going to have to pee soon or he's getting angsty. I don't know if he's just fixing himself because I can see him in my peripheral vision moving. He's moving kind of a lot. So I'm saying, is it just a reposition or is it the Toby shuffle? You okay? What is it? You getting antsy? You gotta go pee? What do you want? Hey. After he disappeared, little was done to find him, his daughter Linda Brewer told Fox 17. That's who we will be speaking with, Linda McDaniel Brewer. For 3 years, nobody said anything, knew anything, or did anything, said Linda, adding she believes this because her father was seen as a mental patient. We've often seen that on this channel when somebody, maybe they do drugs or they're seen as a mental patient, or maybe they have not so clean of a history. Maybe there's prostitution in the background or drug dealing or, anything that isn't your perfect citizen resume kind of thing. A lot of times it seems that they just don't get looked for as much by the police or the public, unfortunately. So he's a human being. He deserves to be found like all the rest of the people that are missing, says Linda Brewer. They never even looked for him. And he served Davidson County, just treated like trash thrown out. Because he was last seen in Pegram, the Cheatham County Sheriff's Office has jurisdiction. After 3 years in advice, well, let me take a moment and see what you guys are talking about over here. Okay. Oh, wow. Nobody's saying anything, huh? That's talk about a dead chat. I thought for sure you guys were talking away because it's pretty active chat in the beginning. I guess my voice is just captivating everybody, huh? All right, guys. After 3 years and advice from former Metro Nashville Police Detective Pat Postiglione, the family finally got a meeting with investigators with the Cheatham County Sheriff's Office. The case was reopened and assigned to Cheatham County Detective Kenneth Miller. So far, Miller has contacted the bank to find out what happened on that fateful May day. We're hoping to discover the circumstances of his visit, what he said, and why they closed his account, and if there has been any activity since he was last seen, Miller said. Even an attempt would give us something to go on. A witness told Miller that Johnny may have gotten into a white car and not the yellow cab that brought him to Pegram. Keep up with the case, and it gives us a Facebook link. Good morning, Shammy. Yay! Toby Shuffle. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, Shammy, if he's doing the Toby Shuffle, which is either like I want water, I want food, or if I got to go to the bathroom. I don't know. He's doing the Toby Shuffle. All right, guys, I'm going to get him some water. We're going to go over a couple true crime stories. As always, we appreciate if anybody decides to support the channel. That's the link there. See if we can get close to our goal. Let me get Toby a little water and see if that's what's causing the Toby Shuffle, because I hate to have to bring him out. You know what, guys? I'm going to bring him out real quick because let's keep him for the remainder of the show. So can you guys bear with me just a couple minutes? Let me take him out quick, get him some water. I'll be right back, I promise. Hi, guys. Oh, we lost a lot of people. Oh, wow. Sorry, everybody. I guess I bored everyone being away. Sorry about that, guys. Wow, we were at 30. We're down to 13. Okay. All right, guys. Well, we read all of our, if you're just joining us, we went over our preview for the week. So we covered the 4 cases that we will be interviewing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. That is of Dimitri Macauer, Tamaya Houston, John Brewer Jr., and Lucy Gutierrez in that order, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 9 p.m. Those are the cases we will be covering. So now, and that's what the morning show is going to be from now on. It's going to be previews of our upcoming week with interviews. All right. So that's how it's going to go. But at the end of it, like right now, we're going to do a little bit of true crime news. So I'm going to pull up a couple stories. Just bear with me. We're going to do some news like we were doing previously. All right. So for the remainder of the show, guys, we're doing double treats for the Topster for any donations that come in. Get some of bacon and a crunchy. If we hit our goal, which is $37, we give him the whole bowl at the end, and he goes wild on it, and people just kind of think it's funny with the loud crunch and everything. It's kind of just try to think of little fun little incentives for you guys to shoot for, to support. But okay, let me pull up a couple stories, guys, and let's go over what's going on in the true crime world. This is probably how we're going to do it. I'm still going to do the true crime news. It's just not going to be the centerpiece of what, hey, Shammy, I wish I was home to chat with you all, says Shammy. Don't worry about it, Sham. As long as you're here, we love having you. Don't worry about it. We understand. What is this? Okay. Let me just pull up a couple stories for you guys. I'd like to add these as extras versus making the show just about them. And I think we have found the perfect formula with previewing the cases and then doing these at the end. Uh-oh. We got a lot of crimes lately by people who have been on other TV shows, huh? Chris Watts. I don't even want to cover that. Guy just makes me sick. I mean, there's been so many sickos like him, but something about him just makes me super sick, more sick than your average sicko. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. Let's pull up a couple more. We got a lot going on today. At least everything isn't about a kid in this one. Lately, that's what it feels like, is all the shows have been kids getting hurt, this, that, the other thing. His ex-wife murders. Yeah. So we got a lot of stories for jealousy. Okay, so that's actually old. So some of those we've actually already read, which is surprising. Watts is where he needs to be. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with that. I have no sympathy there. Sometimes I see people doing stories on him, and it seems like they're almost like on his side or considering his side. Blows my mind a little. But I do understand you have to, until someone's, I don't know, you got to give them a chance, right? A lot of babies, yeah. Way too many. Way too many guys. Okay, let me rearrange everything so that we have them in order. So we got a baseball fantasy game group members plot to kill a friend for life insurance money. So a baseball fantasy game turns to murder. A jealous ex-wife murders a man over his scrapyard business. We investigate inside a mother-daughter murder at Horseshoe Lake, which were 24 years apart, so a mother then a daughter. A 4-year-old Texas boy is murdered in a violent act found on the street. 4 years old. So we got one child in there, unfortunately. And Texas being Texas, we got a tiger on the loose in Houston. Thank God he's been turned into authorities. I believe he did hurt or kill one person. We read something about this the other day. But for anyone who doesn't know, there are more tigers captive in Texas than in the wild in the whole world. More exist in captivity in Texas than the whole rest of the world put together in the wild. Really strange fact. And lastly, Restaurant Impossible participant Jeffrey McWilliams is charged with second-degree murder in a cold case. So we'll take a look at that. Now, we're going to start. This one's kind of odd. Start with the oddball of the group. You're investigating the 4-year-old? Oh, cool. If you have any info, feel free to jump in. Or if you want me to save that to the end, Don, if you have any info that's not out in the public, if you want to come on as like a video guest, I can't do it too long because the show can't go too long today. By the time we get there, it's going to have been going for a while. But if you did want to jump on as a video guest and say any extra info you may have found, I'm always open to that. It's up to you. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm just going to, I just want to make sure everything's right with Annie because she did tell me something yesterday. Just want to make sure. Okay. All right. Just making sure a couple people know because I'm aware of a couple things going on in a couple people's lives that I just want to make them aware if nothing else. Okay, so, ooh, dang, smoking. I haven't smoked in like 4 or 5 days, and the breathing's getting a little, whew. But here we go. So, a baseball fantasy game group members plot to kill a friend for life insurance money. So, a $360,000 life insurance policy put a price on devoted single dad Wayne Capelli's life. From a baseball fantasy game. You can't trust anybody anymore, right? Can't even play some fantasy baseball. They're trying to kill you. You will have to tell me about them. I investigated the 4-year-old. I'm looking at another case where a man died in jail. Oh, okay. Yeah, does it look suspicious or what's the deal? Look, foul play, the one in jail? So, in Claymont, Delaware, single father Wayne Capelli, 43 years old, was known for his kindness and his efforts to make a better life for himself and his daughter, Tara. In early 2013, he had a job in a market stocking shelves. He typically walked to and from the store from a friend's house where he and Tara, at 10, had found a place to live. Give me 1 more second, guys. Okay. He typically walked to and from the store from a friend's house where he and Tara, 10 years old, had found a place to live. He was making money and progress in his life. Things were looking up and moving in the right direction for Capelli, a friend told Mastermind of Murder, which is a show on Oxygen airing Sundays. They're the ones putting out this article. So they're doing a little bit of a plug there. You found a case that intrigues you a lot, Chris? Well, for sure, let me know if you want us to talk about it. Annie was having some computer issues. Yeah, she's having a couple things going on, so I don't want to push or stress her. I did let her know that we are live, but I don't want her. Sometimes I feel like I just hope it doesn't come off as like you have to get in here now. Like if she has things going on, I don't want her to feel like she has to. You know what I mean? So I try not to always go and tell her. Hardell Sherrill. Okay, we can take a look at it. So on February 16th, 2013, a passerby walking his dog around 8 a.m. stumbled upon a man's body lying about 5 feet off the road by a tree. In his 911 call, he said the victim was in the fetal position. And I think we have a donation, guys, of $5. I don't know. It looks like it went up $5, but it doesn't give me a name or who did it or any of that. How odd. I don't know. I guess we can count it. We'll say the goal is 32. I just have no idea who that came from. I don't know. If you are the one, maybe let us know in the chat. But I think somebody donated. So we're close to the goal, guys. $32 away. Any more on the 4-year-old so far? Okay. Just let me know, Doug. Did anybody try to donate $5? So weird. Sometimes the information comes in different bits and pieces. So like one thing will change, but it won't say where it's from or a name. So I think that happened, but I don't know. I don't know. If you did, let us know. I'm sure it'll eventually update me and tell me what's going on with that. Okay. Having a slow day today. Or maybe we'll hit some goals. Okay. So investigators descended upon the area. The victim, whose wallet and driver's license were still on him, was identified as Capelli. There was blood on his head, according to Newcastle County Police Department Detective Tom Orzechowski, who worked the case. Police considered the possibility that Capelli had been the victim of a hit and run, but that line of investigation was quickly abandoned. Come on. Blood spatter on a utility pole and around the scene suggested that Capelli had actually been attacked. Meanwhile, the lack of defensive wounds led officials to believe that he had been struck from behind. But why? There was there was cash in his wallet, so it wasn't a robbery. Authorities canvassed the area. A short distance away, they found a cracked aluminum softball bat with blood on it. Investigators believed it to be the murder weapon. I mean, I would think so if it was that close to the scene. Okay. Okay, it looks like that 5 was from Sabrina, guys. So let's give Toby his treats. We got 7, 6, and 5. How funny. All right. 32, we'll make it 30. How's that sound? Maybe that'll give us a better chance. So thank you, Sabrina. It gets Toby double treats. Toby, you gotta say thank you to Sabrina. Thanks, Sabrina. You're the best girl. Good luck at work. There you go. And one more. All righty. So if we hit our goal, then we'll give him the cereals. We'll cut it in half, though, because I know we're not going to make 30. So what about $15, guys? If we come up with $15, we'll give Toby his treats, his crunchies. I'll lower it because I can tell how the day's going if it's a slow day or what. So we'll try that. But okay. So why? There was cash in his wallet, so it wasn't a robbery. Authorities canvassed the area. A short distance away, they found a cracked aluminum softball bat with blood on it. One second, guys. I'm getting a message from, I think it's the family. Just give me 1 sec. I'm so sorry. Okay. The cause of death was determined to be blunt force trauma. 6ABC.com reported at the time of the murder. For investigators, that helps shed light on the case. Striking someone with a baseball bat is a lot more personal than shooting them afar. Danielle Brennan, DE Deputy Attorney General, told producers, don't you hate when you go to read a sentence and the way it's structured causes you to say the words wrong and you get to the end of it and you're like, I just read that totally backwards. Sorry, guys. Let me reread that sentence with a not half asleep brain. Here we go. For investigators, that helps shed light on the case. Striking someone with a baseball bat is a lot more personal than shooting them afar, Danielle Brennan, DE Deputy Attorney General, told producers. See, so many commas on that, you can't tell where the sentence is going sometimes. Investigators also learned that Arlene Hearn, who owned the house where Capelli lived, had called 911 2 days before his body was discovered. She phoned because he never came home from work. Investigators searched for clues at Capelli's home, where they found that he had taken out life insurance policy just months earlier. The value of the policy shocked them, $360,000. It was a huge sum for someone just getting on his feet. Terry and Jacob's world. Terry, you're saying what case am I reading right now? So welcome, first off. What we're doing right now is on this show, we kind of preview my upcoming interviews that I have. So we've already done that. And now we're just kind of going over some news stories for the last, half an hour or so of the show. So this is just a news story about some friends in a fantasy baseball league that killed one of their friends for his life insurance policy, basically. Guys, these Facebook things need to stop. These scams that they put out there, I get these all the time, and they probably are scamming people. If you don't know what I mean, you're lucky. I get 3 a day from people trying to tell me about something I won, some kind of money on Facebook. Never respond to those guys, whether they're on Facebook, email. You never won money. You never due back a refund. Nothing like that. Please don't respond to those. Because they use that to scam people. Even the refund. You might say, well, how could they scam me if they're saying they're giving me back money? Believe me, there are channels out there, Jim Browning, Kit Boga, where you can see exactly how they do it, and they do it. So never, ever fall for that. They're just not real. Okay. Sorry, guys. What a day. Woo, what a start. So also shocking was the fact that the beneficiary wasn't his daughter, Tara, but Paul DiSabatino, a friend he'd met through another friend. David Hess, who also lived in Hearn's house. Capelli and the men shared an interest in Stratomatic sports simulation games, according to Mastermind of Murder. I'm guessing that's like the fantasy leagues. DiSabatino acted like he was stunned to learn he was the life insurance beneficiary, and he also had an alibi. He was in Pittsburgh at Stratomatic tournament the whole weekend with Michael Kamen. Yeah, Kamen. Hey, Lynn, welcome. There's no Saudi prince. He's real. The other ones are fake. What kind of a last name is K-M-A-N, all one word? Kaman? So he was in Pittsburgh at a Stratomatic tournament the whole weekend with Michael Kamen, who was also deep in the game. I'm going to guess they were just each other's alibis, and they both were guilty is what it sounds like. Welcome, Lynn. Hey, Ronnie. Great to see you, sweetie. So when authorities reviewed surveillance footage from the hotel where the tournament was held, DiSabatino and Kamen showed up periodically. But authorities told producers that because they appeared so often and always made sure to make eye contact with the camera, it raised red flags. It's funny how that comes off. You try to make your story a little too perfect, and that's what actually sinks you, right? I love when it happens like that, because it's just like, they're just obviously awful people for doing what they're doing. It's like, you suckers. You did it so good that you sunk yourselves. Sounds like that's where this is going. Hess had his own alibi. He'd been eating at a fast food restaurant during the window of time that Capelli was killed. His story checked out via security video. Investigations got more traction thanks to security footage at the store where Capelli worked. Video showed that he left work alone and that there was no one following him. But outside the store in the parking lot, a green car was caught on camera circling slowly, almost shark-like. The suspicious car also showed up in security footage near the crime scene. Although the license plate wasn't visible, a large sticker in a back window could help identify the car. The search was on for the vehicle. So it looks like our perfect criminals have made one mistake. And anybody out there saying, I can plan the perfect crime, maybe you can plan an almost perfect crime, but you're going to make one mistake. Oh, they think they're committing a perfect crime, but then they leave a big old recognizable from a mile away sticker in the back window. So Orzechowski then subpoenaed documents and phone recordings linked to the creation of Capelli's life insurance policy, which couldn't pay out while the investigation was underway. Phone recordings revealed that a third party who identified himself as Capelli's cousin Tony was also on the call. He could be heard guiding Capelli and helping him change the beneficiary from Tara to DiSabatino. Who was this so-called cousin Tony? Investigators recognized the voice as K-Man, according to Mastermind of Murder. But K-Man had an alibi that showed he was nowhere near the crime scene. Yeah, but his alibi was the other guy that they suspect. Am I the only person who thinks that this is looking a little weird? Two guys have each other as an alibi, and they're both suspects. Maybe they just used each other as the alibi. No, am I going crazy? Okay, we got some people coming back in. That's good. We lost a bunch earlier. Is Toby a Westie? No, Toby is a Cairn Terrier. Cairn. 100% full-blooded. Tan, chunky little boy. He's a bestie, not a Westie. Yeah, so we are. Oh, hang on. I'm not showing who on screen. Sabrina. Okay. Yeah, so we have a few people that have so far, guys. We have a goal to hit for the day of $15 for our goal. If we hit it, we'll give Toby a nice big bowl of peanut butter crunchies, his favorite. So if you'd like to support the cause for the peanut butter crunchy showdown for Toby, that is the link right there. It's in the chat and it's in the description. So anyone who can support, we appreciate you. And get Toby a nice big peanut buttery breakfast. So Cayman had an alibi, okay, and the other guy had an alibi, which just came in, so this is getting confusing. It showed he was nowhere near the crime scene, allegedly. Detectives considered the possibility of a hit for hire, but without enough direct evidence, the case was stalled. Weeks and months eventually went by. So these guys are on camera far away. They're each other's alibi, but every time they walk by the camera, they're doing one of these. Walk the other way. Look at the camera. See me? I'm here. I'm here. Hey, everybody. I'm not at a crime scene committing a murder. I'm right here with you guys in case you want to know later. Everybody notice me. That's what you don't want to do when you want to be noticed. You want to just act cool and walk by a few times, and they'll find you. If they really want you, they'll find you. But when you are obviously trying to be noticed by the camera, they know you're trying to be noticed by the camera. All right? And they will absolutely wonder, what the hell is the reason you want to be noticed by that camera? Because 9 times out of 10, it's because you're off doing something else or you paid someone else to do it, something like that. If anybody remembers, it was an Indian kid and his friend Sebastian. They killed the Indian kid's parents. Sorry, I just don't remember the family's name. Sebastian something, and it was in Canada. There was an Indian friend with Indian family, of course, and then, he had his friend over all the time. Those kids went to a movie and snuck out of the movie, killed the family. Then I think went back to the movie, but either way, they had an alibi that they were at the movies when the family got killed. And they actually were at a few places throughout the night. But same thing that this case is saying. Every single place that these kids were, so they asked the kids, they were like, they knew they all had the same story. Perfect. Yeah, we went to such and such diner till 8:45, and then we went to till 9:02, and then we went to the movies at 10:17, and we were there till about 11:49. Everything was exact. And we'll get some sleep, Teresa. If you're tired, we appreciate you stopping in. Yeah, so They went around to all these places, and what do you know? Every single place that these kids went, they made a huge, huge scene. Yes, Don, fantasy baseball. I'm just referring to a different case right now because these guys, it's similar in the fact that the suspects were trying to make it so dang obvious that they were somewhere else. They make it so obvious that you know something is going on. So that's what happened, and they ended up finding out Sebastian and the kid killed the family, and yeah, they started. They gave like a huge tip at one place. Then they started an argument at another place. And sure enough, in the end, it was that the cops ended up finding out they were everywhere they went. They were just trying to be noticed. They were being as loud and obnoxious as they possibly could. So same thing with this case. Every time they walk by, they're staring up at the camera. They're acting weird, driving around the parking lot. So something's up. So in 2014, a year after the murder, the case picked up steam again. Kevin Shannon, a now retired FBI agent, had been contacted by DeSabatino, who told him that Kamen had come up with a scheme to kill Capelli and get his life insurance. DeSabatino, like Hess, owed Kamen money and as such were under his thumb. Shannon told producers that Kamen had a knack for preying upon people's vulnerabilities and used fear tactics to keep them under control. The murder plot involved moving Hess into the same house where Capelli lived and hiring a hitman. So Hess could be familiar with the route that Capelli walked to get to work and back home. Hang on. Okay, I see. Let me read this real quick. Yes, the confession tapes. You're talking about the Sebastian story, right? Okay, guys, and it looks like we have a donation. Hang on one second. Oh, no, okay. No. My notifications are just really far behind. This is actually Sally Ann from before. So I just got your message now, Sally. It says, hi, Jay. This is a little something from the UK. Come craft and chat with Sally Ann. Thank you, Sally Ann. Sorry I didn't see the message before because I only get that on the email, which apparently is coming in about an hour and 20 minutes afterwards. So sorry about that. I just saw it now. So if anybody else put a note, I'll probably get it soon. So, but who was the actual killer? DeSabatino and Hess didn't know his name, just that he was called Nazi. Well, that's a heck of a nickname. After Shannon teamed up with Orzechowski, phone records led investigators to Ryan Shover, who worked as a landscaper for Kamen. The green car seen in the video was registered to Shover's girlfriend, reported the York Daily Record in 2016. Nazi and Shover. Does that sound like a group you want to go hang out with? Hey, guys, come by the bar. Who you with, bro? Steve? No. Hanging out with Nazi. Shover's here, too. Yeah, I worked all night, Teresa. I worked the overnight. I still haven't slept. It says only one in the chat. I have two channels and I'm broadcasting to both, Teresa. So you're probably on whatever channel everyone else isn't. You're probably on Jay and Toby channel. I'm on the Jason Hebert channel as well. So everybody's in the other chat. So sorry. Give me one sec, guys. Somebody's at the door. But yeah, you're in the wrong one. So come on over to the other one, and you'll be able to see people talking. It's still a slow chat though. A lot of our people do things while they listen, but I do have someone at the door, guys. So let me go. I think I know who it is. It's not someone I want to talk to for long, so I won't be too long. As always, guys, you guys know that's the link to support the show and all that. So I'm gonna be gone for a few minutes. So bear with me. I don't want to be too loud. I got to do something. Hang on 1 second. Angela, hey! I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. What's up, girl? How you doing, sweetheart? We're just hanging out. We were doing the new, format morning show where we are previewing the cases coming up this week. We got some good ones coming every night this week. So make sure to catch that, Angela. We have on Monday, we are doing Dimitri Mack Hour. On Tuesday, Tamaya Houston. We're interviewing the parents or their children in some cases. On Wednesday, John Brewer Jr. And on Thursday, Lucy Gutierrez interviewing her mother. So we have 4 interviews scheduled, and I am working on Friday. I just can't lock it down. I've almost had 2 people in that slot, but I can't fully lock it down. So bear with me, but trying my best. Hang on. The goal is not 35 guys. It's 15. I don't know why that keeps changing. The goal is only 15, not 32 or whatever it said. We changed it to 15. Okay, but back to the story. So we got friends playing fantasy baseball. So, okay, friend named Nazi, friend named Shover, who worked as a landscaper for Cayman. The green car seen in the video was registered to Shover's girlfriend. Remember, this is the one with the sticker on the back. Reported the New York Daily Record in 2016. Shover was arrested for murder, while DiSabatino and Hess were busted for their roles in the hit for hire. They made a deal and agreed to testify for the prosecution. The worst thing you can do... Oh, what's going on? The worst thing you can do is commit some awful crime with other people, because the second the heat comes on, one of those people is going to tell on you. So first of all, don't be killing people anyways. Let's keep it simple, right? Don't kill people. But if you're going to do it and you're stupid enough to do it with someone else that you think is going to choose you over life in prison, then you deserve for them to go tell on your stupid butt. Sorry. Very, very true. It will happen, and you will go down, just so you know. Well, if you guys don't have a show tonight, you're welcome to come here, Dawn and Sally Ann. Remember, 9 p.m. You guys have only caught my little morning shows here. These are very different than my real show. My interviews at night is like the meat of the channel. We do a lot of stuff there. I just use this morning show to get to know them better. We raise money for the channel, stuff like that. So don't just watch my morning shows. It's important that you know that the main meat of the show is on the nighttime shows. Otherwise, it's like, what is this channel all about? This is just more like the hangout for the diehards. The morning shows. So Cayman, who was arrested for first-degree murder, which carries a mandatory life sentence, eventually agreed to testify against Shover in exchange for a lesser charge. Following a 15-day trial, Shover was found guilty. In April 2018, more than 5 years after the murder, he was sentenced to 2 life terms. Cayman was sentenced to 30 years, DiSabatino to 10 years, and Hess to 5 years in prison. Capelli's daughter, Tara, received a life insurance policy from his murder. So... glad she got it, not them. What do you guys think about, I understand they have to give incentive for these guys to flip, right? That's the only way that they can catch some of them in some cases. But at the same time, it's like, woo, 5 years in prison, you helped kill a guy? I just know I'm going to be super mad. You kill a friend of mine, and he gets 5 years in prison, I don't know if I can contain myself. I'm going to go beat the heck out of that guy when he gets out. Hurt him as bad as I can. You hurt or kill like a parent or a kid of mine, you're in trouble. And I'm sure everyone would agree with that. You only get 5 years. I'm Dextering your ass. We're going to get you. Sorry, Teresa. I don't know if you're saying what the hell because he only got 5 years or because I'm acting like a nutty lunatic, but I don't know. If somebody hurts your child and they get 5 years, I don't know. That's why the show Dexter was made, right? Because unfortunately that does happen. Just craziness. 5 years, and the other one gets 10. Even the one that didn't rat everybody out only got, what was it, 30? I mean, I don't even think that's enough. Yeah, 30. Cayman gets 30 years. You killed somebody. Okay, 5 years, that's unacceptable. Yeah. I don't care that you went and told. I know a lot of people will disagree with this because people feel really strongly one way or the other about the death penalty, but I feel like we're going to kill you if we're the state. And if you tell, your treat is life in prison, not getting killed. That's good enough to me. Like, that'll be enough to get them to talk. I don't think we need to erase the whole dang sentence, basically. 5 years, 10 years. It's not working for me. Sorry, guys. I'm pro death penalty. Well, I see both arguments on it. So it's like, I try to avoid any talk that's even somewhat political on the channel. And that tends to be something that kind of gets political. But I'm not totally against it. No way. People who hurt children, we're going to say that's too much for somebody who hurts children, killing them. I think that's exactly what they deserve. Particularly a multiple time offender. Well, we're just going to be forced to let these people live in our neighborhood and just hope, please don't buy a house next to me. Dang, he's my next door neighbor and I can't afford to move. Guess I got to just watch over my 9-year-old daughter for the next 20 years. Dang. There needs to be more. Either sentences need to be extended, or you need to castrate these people hurting kids. What do you do if one moves in next to you? Just accept that, I got to watch my daughter a lot more now. Or my son, whatever. A friend was murdered in high school. Every 5 years, I write a letter to parole board. Aaron's law in Missouri now states being intoxicated is no defense. Oh, good. Good that it says that. I have a very similar case. Hang on one second. Guys, I'm going to mute this real quick. Sorry, guys, I had to mute myself before I said something I wanted to check with a family member. But, tree coming. Okay, Ronnie, give me 1 second and I'll check it. Sorry. Just give me 1 sec to say this. Yeah, same thing with me. Angela, I was real young, but my uncle was murdered, my mother's brother. And same thing. She went to the parole board all the time. He basically got off because he was drinking. But yeah, he beat him in the head with a baseball bat, my uncle. And he only did, how long did he do?
He got murdered too because he was drinking. He did 15 years.
Because he was drinking, he got murder 2, not murder 1, because he was drinking. So he got 15 years and now he's out. And believe me, we're from the same city, so once in a while you'll like bump into his profile on Facebook or something. It's a weird fit. Your blood boils, you know what I mean? Like, what can you do, really? But it's weird. I mean, I don't think I was born yet. I was either 1 or not born. But my mother, I grew up with it. My family is constantly talked about. So it's just weird. But same thing. Rang the parole board. She did that for years, but then eventually time was up. Nothing more you could do. But yeah, same kind of situation. Thank you, Teresa. I just wanted Angela to say that I totally get that situation. Absolutely. Okay, so Ronnie, sorry about that, Ronnie. I kind of got wrapped up in what I was doing there. And we have a donation from Ronnie. Thank you so much. Yeah, well, Shells, you're probably on the second channel. We do have like 20 people in here, but they are being kind of quiet. Our morning show tends to be like that. So, the nighttime shows, were people talking like crazy during the interviews, but on our morning shows, yeah, it does get really quiet in the chat. Even when we have people here, people listen while they're at work and stuff because that's what it is. People are at work and doing stuff with their kids, so we do have some people here. But if you see nobody in the chat, it's because you're in the secondary Jason Hebert show. You're not on the main channel. So if you switch over to the main Jason Hebert channel, there's like 20 people. So thank you so much to Roddy. Gets Toby double treats, and guess what, guys? We hit our goal. We hit the goal. That's horrible. What? I'm not sure what you're asking about, Don. What did you say is horrible? So Ronnie, Sally Ann, Jan, and Sabrina. Thank you, guys. Get Toby double treats and give him a little bowl. Actually, hang on, guys. I gotta fill his bowl with cereal. Just give me 1 second. Thank you so much. No, thank you, because I kind of stopped looking, to be honest, because it was like a long period of time between them, so I just kind of forgot. Give me 1 second. Let me just fill up Toby's bowl, guys. I have to remove the chocolate because we hit our goal. We're going to give him his little treat bowl as a treat to end the show, but I haven't removed the chocolate yet, so 1 second. Okay, guys, so I'm going to make his little cereal bowl real quick. Then we're going to finish up because my mother actually has to do something on the computer, which never, ever happens. It's rare, so we need to do kind of an interview kind of thing. So she needs to take over. But let me just do his little – look at Toby getting ready. It's like he knows. All right, guys, give me 1 minute. Okay, guys, here's Toby's little treat. Wow, look at buddy. We got the goal. You did it. You got the goal. Oh, I see, Don. Oh, don't worry about it, Teresa. No. I ask a lot during the show because people constantly come in and out, so I just make sure that people know. But don't ever feel like you have to. We're just hanging out with Toby. And yeah, tonight will be good, guys. Make sure to join us, okay? There's not a ton on this case. The one we're doing tonight, these are my favorite. Toby, I get a kick out of that. These are my favorite kind of cases where there's nothing out there. Like if you look up Dimitri Machauer, DEMITRI MACHHOUR, it's like nothing. Does that what I read to you is all that exists. So these are the people we can help, the people that have nothing out there. We get the cases. I'll do the first interview, and then if you got there's a lot of people here with another show. If you want to do your own show on them. By the way, let me say that just to be clear on something. My main goal when I do these interviews, guys, is to help the family. So believe me, Kaleidoscope will tell you, I'm 100% genuine when I mean it, when I say this. I don't care about like competing, like, oh, I got this interview. Oh, don't take the person that's my interview. I never do that. You guys that have other true crime shows, if you want to take somebody I interview, because that's a case like this, let's say tonight, where nobody else has done a story, so I was like the first one that did it. If you want to grab them and you do another one, by all means, because you're only going to help them reach more people. I will never ever be like, oh, you're taking my people or something like that. You know what I mean? Because people get so competitive in this space. Like, oh, I did something and then you did it. You're copying me. Not at all. I literally don't care. I'll create a system with all of you, one of you, all of you, where every single time I interview someone, I'll pass them around to all you guys, and you can, do an interview with them or a story or whatever you do in your channel. But the more shows we do on these people, the better, guys. So never feel like if you see a show on my channel that you can't ask me for the person's information. I mean, I always link it anyways, but I care more about helping them than me being like, that's my guy, that's my lady. Hey, you're doing all the same ones as me. Nope, doesn't bother me at all. And not only that, Toby got a bowl full. Yep, thank you guys. Not only that, but here's the want to know the funny thing about that? And I say that because I've run into people like that when I was first starting. And I'm still new. I mean, it's not like I have a big channel by any means, but at least it's not like a brand new one anymore. But I would have people that like anything I tried to do, it was so competitive that I could sense they didn't want me to like do anything close to what they did, and we were fighting. I could just sense it. So I always said, if I grow my channel, I'm never going to be like that because I only want to help the people. But here's the funny thing about that, right? What's funny is there used to be a tactic. No, those were peanut butter puffs. There used to be a tactic on YouTube where people would title their videos the same thing, right? They would do a lot of like prank videos. So if it was like cheated on my girlfriend prank or those stupid pranks that used to be in YouTube, I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. So it was called like traffic hitching or something like that. If you titled your videos the same thing and one did well, they would all do well because YouTube would lump them together. So if you watch one, they'd recommend it. So when you have, like, let's say I do Dimitri Makauer interview, and then you do Dimitri Makauer interview, it actually helps us because if somebody gets into the case and your video does well, it starts recommending my video because I'm one of the other people that have done videos of Dimitri. So having other people do things similar to what you do is actually helpful to you. You're going to get way more people that watch your video because they watched someone else's video on that case. Then you're going to get people that go like, oh, I'm not going to watch that person's because I watched that person's. Because people get into cases, especially in true crime. They watch every video they can on it. Most people. Everything they can. They get so absorbed in it that they're going to watch everything. So you should want 50 people to do a video on a case that you just did a video on. You really should. Yeah, I know. But just something to consider, guys. Help each other. I can almost guarantee you your channel's never going to be hurt by helping someone else. I mean, other than if we all get to the point where we have like millions of subscribers and we're going to war and I don't know, someone says something devastating to hurt one of them. I mean, maybe something like that. And, I've seen that happen. Big channels start fighting and stuff. But at our size, the sub 50,000, sub 100,000 people, helping someone else is just it's going to go like this and you're going to lift each other up like that. So never be scared to do it. Okay, I know I'm repeating myself, guys. I'm just trying to get the show to like an hour 45. But okay, I love you guys. Thank you so much. You're all amazing. And I will see you shortly. Hey, who's here? There's another example. Who's here? Yeah, everyone support each other, guys. For real. You will be very happy that you did. So we're way past, guys. I love you. Thanks for coming in. It was you caught us the last second, though. Sorry, brother. All right, guys. Take care. Watch the interview tonight, 9 p.m. Help each other, love each other, be good to each other, and have a good day.